نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Rasulullah, the Holy Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ala wa inna fil jasadi mudghah." Verily, there's a piece of flesh, piece of meat in every body. There's a piece of flesh or meat, whatever we say. That is mudghah. Ida saluhat, if that piece of flesh is purified, saluhal jasadu kullu, then the activities, the deeds that will come out from the body will become purified. All the activities will be purified. All things that he will do will be good deeds. وَإِذَا فَسَدَتْ, but if the flesh becomes polluted, if that flesh becomes dirty, فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ, then all the activities that will come out of the body will become corrupted, will be dirty works, will be bad deeds. أَلَا وَهِيَ الْقَلْبُ. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, listen carefully, that is your heart, your heart. So this is one thing, that we need to purify our heart. We need to remove the darkness from our heart and bring the light, enlighten our heart by faith of Allah and the messages that was brought by the messengers of Allah, and the afterlife that we are going to, we have to go to a life that will begin by our death and will never come to an end, an infinite life. So this is the basics of faith. If the faith comes, if our heart is enlightened by the faith, then through our body, all the works that we'll do, we will see, we will talk, we will listen, we will eat, we will work, or we will walk, or whatever we do, everything will be according to the prescribed path of Allah. Good deeds that will not harm others, that will give peace to others, both in this earth and also in the afterlife. But if heart becomes polluted, if the heart becomes corrupted, because our heart drives us, whatever is in our heart defines the activities of our organs. So this is the target of the devil, or the Dajjal, the Antichrist. They are working on it to mislead the people from the right path to the wrong path. The Dajjal is working in the world, and his sign is all around us. Everything he's doing with the sign, the people, the Illuminati, they're using the sign, the 9/11, to deviate the people from the right path to the wrong path. And the best gifts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us after Iman, the faith that I said, that the fundamental three principles of faith. Then after faith that Allah has gifted us, three things, three best blessings, that's our knowledge, our thinking ability, and our intellect. We use these three things to utilize the natural resources that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to the earth, given to the world. All the natural resources. There are also some natural resources, we can utilize those in the best way if this knowledge and intelligence and thinking ability are proper, can utilize in proper way. But what the devil or the Dajjal is doing, what the devil has been doing from the beginning of this earthly life, he has brought the dunya in front of us. The dunya, if the dunya is in front of us, if all the desires come in front of us, then his knowledge, his faith, his intelligence, his thinking ability, everything will be corrupted, and he will misuse the natural resources. He will misuse his body, and corrupted activities will come out, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the Holy Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, حب الدنيا رأس كل خطيئة. The desire for this earth is the root of all corruptions, all bad things. So this is something I show you how the Dajjal is working in the environment of Dajjal.
The basics of Islam depends the faith actually fundamentally upon these three things: the oneness of God, there is no one to worship but Allah. Allah is the only one or only Lord for mankind and all the universe. This is the basic faith, and the messages that Allah sent to mankind through his messengers, through the holy books, scriptures, and this is the second thing. And finally the hereafter, the afterlife, that will have to reach, we have to leave this earth. After that there will be a new life. We are going to enter into a new world, and that life will begin and will never end. Upon the base on the earthly life, the afterlife will be defined for us. So these are the three basic principles, and if we notice that all these things are faiths that remains in our heart, and these are the 7 organs that we use to make our activities that results in either virtues or sin, or good deeds or bad deeds. Whatever we do, we use these eyes or ears or tongue to look upon and to look at the forbidden things or allowed things, to listen, to eat, to speak bad things, or to speak bad or good, to work good and bad, good or bad, to eat good or bad, to use it in the allowed or non-allowed places, and to go to right place, to walk on the right place, right path, or to wrong path. So these are the seven organs that we use to do our activities that results in either virtues or sin for us. So if you see, these three things is actually it is internal thing that remains in our heart, and these are the activities that we do through our organs that results in either virtue or sin. So these are the total 10 things. As the Quran says, tilka asharata kamila, these are the complete things. If the faith is good, if the faith is firm, then good activities will come out through these 7 organs. But these are the 7 desires that we have. These are the desires, the weakness of man, as it is said in the Surah Al-Imran, Zuyina linnasi hubbu shahawati minan nisa wal banina wal qanatir. This verse of the Quran, this verse of the Surah Al-Imran, and also in Surah Tawbah, where Allah said, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ. These 2 verses actually results all these 7. And ability to honor, this is actually, it comes in a hadith, and also the leadership, it comes in the Quran. So altogether these are the 9 things, the weakness of man. So what happens to us, that if these 9 things, these desires, these desires becomes the target, becomes the aim of life, then people makes mistakes. People's faith becomes wrong, and the activities they do through their organs, it becomes wrong. So this is what Dajjal, the Antichrist or Dajjal, is doing. Is the environment he has given to the world, is working behind the screen, that he let the people go upon these things, these 9 things, so their faith becomes weak, and they do bad amals, bad activities, wrong activities. So if we notice, here is 3, 7 and 9, altogether 19 things. As the Quran says, there are 19 angels of punishment in the hell. Surah Muzammil, it is said, وَعَلَيْهَا تِسْعَةَ عَشَرَ, that is, there are 19 angels of punishment in the hell. So all this together, this is what Dajjal wants to deviate the people. The devil or the Dajjal, all of them, they want to deviate the people to from the right path to the wrong path, and all these things they are controlling from the top, from behind the screen. Dajjal actually controlling now the world. So this is what is 9/11. If we see, Dajjal is working behind the screen, and the desires he makes at the front. So all the people, if we notice around the world, they are actually running after these 9 things, and it is this environment is built up by Dajjal. He is working behind the screen, so they are walking upon the wrong path, going through the wrong path. So there's another way we can come to it, that the most powerful gifts of Allah is that knowledge, think, and intellect. It is all this comes in the Quran. All these 19 things comes in the Quran and Hadith. In the Quran it says, "Afala ta'lamun." That verse Allah says about the knowledge, "Afala tatafakkarun, afala tatadabbarun." That don't you think? Don't you? Can't you think deeply? And afala ta'qilun, don't you have any intelligence? So these three are the best gifts of Allah that Allah has given to mankind, and the gifts of nature that Allah has given to the world, to this earthly life for human resource, as natural resources, land, air, water, oceans, mineral resources like oil, coal, and gold, and other things, and forests. Also, some wealth comes from the forests, and cattle and animals. All these things are natural resources. So what human beings do, that they use their knowledge, thinking ability, and intellect. When these are in the right path, they can use these resources in the right path. But if these desires becomes their aim of life, so their knowledge and thinking ability and intellect, all this becomes weak, and they cannot think properly, they cannot use their knowledge or intellect properly. So they make misuse of all these resources, and that's why at the current situation, at the current world, everything is going wrong. All the people, all the environment, all the whole world, people are suffering due to their wrong uses of these resources, wrong uses of these gifts of Allah, because they have these desires, they have become these desires their aim of life. And all this is being done by Dajjal, and he is working behind the screen to control all these 19 things. Dajjal is working behind to control the whole world, like the new world order as declared by George Bush Sr. in 1991. He declared that the whole world he is going to control the new world order, we know. So that's how the 9/11 comes, that give the mankind to run after the desires, and he is controlling behind and to take over the control over the world, so that people cannot find the way of truth.
So Alhamdulillah, all the things are in front of us now. Now we are supposed to purify ourselves, we are supposed to rectify our faith, rectify our aim of life. The dunya is not the aim. The dunya is not for which Allah has sent us to this earth. If these things remains at the front line, then all the activities will be wrong. I will be disturbed in my life, and by me other people will be disturbed, other people will be suffering. I myself will also be suffer. So may Allah give us understanding and act upon it, inshallah.